Hi, and welcome to Rabbit and Moon Tarot. My name is Angel, and I'll be doing a collective read today. Now, if you've been with me before, you know that I've been putting in chapter markers in the timeline and in the description box below. Sometimes it doesn't show up on the timeline for whatever reason, but they're definitely in the description box below. And if you're new to my channel, well, thank you very much for taking a chance on this teeny tiny little tarot channel. I know I don't have a whole lot in my library, but I am reading and I'm loving it. All likes, shares, and subscribes are deeply appreciated because it means that other people will be able to see it and hear my stories. Now I'm going to put a chapter marker here to do my little tarot intro. So if you want to go right on to the reading, you can just pop on over. But if you're new to my channel and new to tarot, I have some food for thought. Nothing too intense. It's a little intro, but still food for thought. So if you're here, stick with me. Tarot and oracles are tools for self-reflection. It's meant to help guide you when you're utilizing your own inner moral compass in pursuit of your own particular brand of happiness. I'm an intuitive reader, so that means I know the tarot and I know oracle. I'll read the oracles, but I also work with my guides, the ancestors, and the energies that be. There's only so many cards in a deck, so even when a card comes out, sometimes the message that is being relayed in connection with my guides, my ancestors, isn't always an exact match to the card that comes out. And that's because, for me, my guides will pull the closest approximation to the message that they want to relay. It's up to me, the person who's channeling and intuiting, to translate or interpret that message for the viewer. And it's up to you to decide whether or not it resonates. And resonating isn't just watching it and thinking, well, that doesn't really sound like me, or I wouldn't do that, or they wouldn't do that. At that point, it probably isn't for you that week, you know? Just go ahead and leave it, and someone else may be able to utilize this message. But you'll know when it resonates, when it like plucks on a heartstring. Like you hear something and immediately, no downtime, you are connecting it to a person, place, thing, situation, feeling, emotion that you either felt before, you're feeling currently, or you've been kind of like mulling around in your headspace. The example would be like, oh man, that happened to me last year, or I'm going through that right now, or even I've been thinking about it for a really long time. I've kept it to myself. I haven't told anybody, but here it is in a reading. And the main thing is, I'm not here to tell you how you should feel or how you will feel. The main point of me being a tarot reader and channeling is to confirm to someone out there who may watch this that I can feel what you're feeling. If you're not feeling it, then it's not your reading. Simple as. So that's what resonating is. Sometimes I've seen it happen with other tarot readers where people will hear something and they get really kind of triggered and head up, and they'll be in the comments saying something like, you don't know what you're talking about. And the thing is, that tells me more about the viewer than it does about any one person's reading style, because the truth of the matter is I'm a tarot reader on a platform with thousands of other tarot readers, all of us channeling thousands of different types and strings of energy with thousands of different cards. But the one thing we all have in common when we're reading on YouTube is that this is a collective read. We're all tapping into several different energies all at once. It's not personal, it's not individual, it is a collective. So if someone hears one of us and says, that's not me, I would never do that, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, in that situation, I kind of have to ask, what heartstring got plucked in that person that maybe they weren't ready to have it plucked? You know, doing shadow work and understanding your inner world is not easy. It really is not easy. I do it on the daily, and it is hard. But it also is freeing to understand your inner wants, needs, and desires and where traumas come from. So just keep that in mind. Don't give your power up to a tarot reading. It's meant to help guide you should you choose to utilize it. And if you get reactionary to a tarot reading, rather than being in the comments or seeing people in the comments saying, you don't know what you're doing, maybe sit with the energy and be like, okay, wait a minute, hold on. This is a tarot reader among thousands. Why did I just react like that? Most important thing, though, really, really and truly, is you are the maestro of your own destiny. Again, these are just tools to help you make decisions with your own inner moral compass. And I'm the type of person that believes in fate and destiny. I do. But I believe it only takes you so far. I believe it presents you the opportunity for happiness, for change, for progression, to live a different life. Paths, doorways, timelines, if you want to call it. It gives you the opportunity, but you have to be the one to take the opportunity. You need to want to make decisions for yourself, advocate for yourself, vocalize on behalf of yourself. Because essentially, the universe is like, here's a stack of paper and a pen, write your story. Or a stage show. Here are the costumes, here are the set designs, here are some ideas for stories, but what are you going to write? You're co-creating. You have full autonomy and free will. It's just, what kind of life do you want to live, and how will you lead it? Tarot is a tool for self-reflection. It's a tool, should you decide to use it. So, let's get into the pre-shuffle. I don't really know what the energy last week I had started the week with knowing deep down, like an energy that the collective was kind of like, what's the word, emanating. But for some reason, this week it's not as clear. I am feeling that there's lots of I just heard revelations. There are a lot of revelations, realizations. Maybe somebody out there is gaining like some true clarity after that full moon. We had a full, or no, that's actually tonight. I thought it was on Sunday, but no, the full moon is tonight. I'm doing the reading on the right night. I thought for a second there that I had missed it, but no, it's tonight. Maybe there's some clarity that's going to be given to us. It's full moon in Scorpio, I believe. So, okay. What I'm going to do is, we're doing a pre-shuffle. Sorry. It's a little bit scattered, the energy, but I'm going to cut the deck, read from the middle and the bottom to give an idea of what the collective is feeling going into this reading, going into this full moon in Scorpio, and then we'll go into the reading proper to kind of outline what may or may not be coming clear during this full moon. Pardon me. I had a hiccup. All right, so let's see what we have. Okay, so what we have is healing heart in the golden mirror. So healing heart is healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationships or addictions. And then there's the golden mirror, self-absorbed, one-sided relationship, love bombing, and narcissist. So here's the thing, right away with these two particular oracles. Sorry, I'm just about to drop them. Because I feel like during this full moon is, I just heard full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is all about digging out those secrets, all about digging deep, all about those Plutonian journeys where you go really deep and you face the inner dragon or inner demon, however you want to say it, face it, find strength, and come out changed. There's something about this level of clarity. Ooh. And so some of you may be realizing that whatever situation you're in, can't tell what it is yet, you're recognizing that it's time to cut ties with a certain negative, problematic, disempowering, toxic relationship. But here's the thing, while some of you may resonate and find that it could possibly have to do with connections that you have around you, be it family, friends, coworkers, or lovers, or loved ones, it also, with the golden mirror, it also could be recognizing that you need to cut that kind of relationship with yourself. It's very possible that, collective, that, okay, I just heard it's both the internal and external journey. For those of you that this resonates, there may be a slightly not so great energy around you that you're connected to. Again, family, friends, coworkers, lovers / relationship. And through that, it exacerbates your own negative self-talk. And that's what you need to end as well. The negative self-talk. I'm almost hearing like you don't feel like you can leave this situation because for some reason being in the situation for as long as you have has led you to believe, oh my God, I just saw a car driving off a car lot, and as soon as you got into this relationship, you felt like your value was depreciating slowly. And that is untrue. untrue. But that is the energy that I'm feeling. That's what's happening. Or that's what you all are feeling has happened. Well, we have a volunteer. Let's see what it is. So we have Sword and Rose. This is about truth. It's clarity, revelation, protection, power. Again, I said revelation, and it's right here. Clarity, truth, and revelation. I can't make this up. This is exactly what I was feeling. It's like the sword of truth is the sword of truth. Yes, but also there's something about being both, having the balance of your feminine and masculine in alignment. Or for those that it resonates, it is the idea of the steel fist and the velvet glove. Like, you can still be soft, you can still be kind, but you also have very defined boundaries. This is what the Spirit's asking of you. Yes, I'm hearing the steel fist and a velvet glove, the sword and the rose, the softness and the strength. Recognizing, finding that within yourself, because whatever collective, whatever you all are into, there is a realization tonight. There's a realization tonight over what you will accept and what you will no longer accept. And some of you, I'm not wishing ill on anyone, but I do feel like you all are coming to a point where you have to release something that no longer works for you. Absolutely. 100. No looking back. Recognizing you need to let go of whatever it is that is both in your external world is disempowering and problematic, and it's exacerbating your inner battle that you have with yourself about your self-worth, because it's exacerbating your low self-esteem, your anxiety, your self-worth. That, again, I'm seeing that car driving off a car lot, and it's like you think that as soon as you drove off the lot or you got into this relationship, you, like, your value has been depreciating since. And I can understand. I'm feeling right now that there's someone out there that would be balking against that, be like, no, that's not how I feel. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to those that feel like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing someone all smiling and happy and full of life and in like sunlight. And I'm seeing, like, it almost looks like the sun is setting, and it's like the happiness is being drained away from this person. It feels like whoever I'm talking to, collective, you went into this relationship with high hopes, and it slowly has been sucking like the life hope out of you. Scorpionic, the Scorpio full moon is asking you to really seriously look yourself dead in the eye, in the mirror, and be like, what do you actually deserve? This is not it. Wow, it feels like, honestly, there's a level of like frustration. I'm feeling frustration with self. Okay, let's cut the deck and see what we have. Twin flames and House of Cards. Twin flame, the yin-yang balance, union, duality, coupling, complementing each other, and Hand of Cards, taking a chance, being strategic. Like, I mean, for those that it resonates, wherever you are right now in your situation, again, family, friends, coworkers, current relationship, whatever is externally surrounding you is like sapping the joy or the happiness or your light. It's like dimming your light. And by that, by constant exposure to this energy that feels like it's kind of sapping your light, you feel like for some reason you don't, oh my God, I'm feeling like the longer you're with this job, this friend group, this lover, or this toxic family dynamic or member around them, that it's making you doubt your worth, which absolutely you should not. For some reason, the Scorpio energy is really strong and very much like, I know my worth. And this kind of feels honestly, I'm going to be real. This reminds me of the reading I did last week. It's called Remember Who You Are. You have strength running through your veins. The Scorpio full moon makes me feel like with this strength, it's time to deep dive and be like, we need to get whatever this is in our path, in our external world that is blockading us from what we truly need to be doing. Like, it is something so incredibly karmic. It's there to break the cycle, but you have to be strong enough to break the cycle and recognize that you deserve more. Now let's get to this. I didn't mean to get all like that, but the reason why is because if you don't, resonate with the terms twin flames, soulmate, divine counterpart, the red thread of fate, you can look at the twin flame card as kind of like the call to action. You can think about it as destiny's calling. There is something meant for you that is waiting. It's in the future, but you can't access it if you're tied up to this past karmic thing that needs to end, that needs to be closed out. Job, friend, relationship, problematic family, whatever it is. But you have to be able to take the chance. There is a certain level of comfort that is associated with this kind of karmic energy. Again, the first two cards that we had were Healing Heart and the Golden Mirror. There is healing from bad, toxic situations while also recognizing that there's inner work that needs to be done. One was external, one was internal. The volunteer card we got was Sword and Rose, which is the balance of feminine and masculine, which is the balance of like the steel hand in the velvet glove. This is being soft but having firm boundaries. Remember who you are. There is strength in your veins. There is something, someone, a life that you are meant to live. It is a union with your inner self, union in alignment with your true goal, union in alignment with who you're meant to be with. But you have to be ready to take the risk. You have to be ready to take the chance. Because when you're any successful person that we see, whether in business, in love, or just in life in general, these are people who are willing to take a chance. They understand that there's the chance to fumble, to fall, but they don't stay down. They get back up and they keep moving forward. They keep believing that if they work hard enough or they, retrospectively look on decisions that they made in the past and figure out, okay, well, I can't do the same thing because that's the definition of madness, right? Doing the same things over and over and over again and thinking you're going to get a different result. Well, if being in this cycle has not led me to my happiness, maybe it's time to change the chapter or close that chapter, move on to the next chapter, start the next phase. Again, if this is already resonating with you, please watch the Remember Who You Are, There's Strength Running Through Your Veins video that I did last week. Because this feels like destiny. Again, you don't have to think about twin flames as like romantic connection, but it's definitely like calling you to what you're supposed to be moving towards, what you're supposed to be working towards, what you're supposed to be viewing your life, like the lens you're supposed to be viewing your life through. If your destiny is you want to own a business, if your destiny is you want to be a parent, if your destiny is you want to have a love relationship, there is something, a path that is meant for you, that is destined for you, but you have to be able to recognize when the opportunity has been presented to you and taking a chance, Hand of Cards, taking a chance to move towards it. Oh my God. And then we have Stabbed in the Back that just decided it wanted because I couldn't hold the cards in. Stabbed in the Back. Heartbreak, pain, separation, deception. Okay. Now this wasn't by chance. This karmic is making you feel the separation from your true path. There's a heartbreak by not moving towards your true path. And again, I'm hearing you have to be able to eschew any karmic attachments in order to align yourself with what you're meant to do. Again, whether you see it as love, whether you see it as building your business, building your empire, building a reputation, starting that project, linking up with those people, there's a calling that you have, a destiny. But again, with destiny and fate, as I said in my tarot intro, destiny and fate can only present you with the opportunity to move towards those things. You have to make a decision and take the chance that even if you can't see the path before you, if the path only appears as you walk it, you have to trust in yourself, internal world and external world. Understand that you're moving towards what you want, your happiness, because the universe can only offer you the opportunity, offer you the path, but you have to choose it. You have to want it. You have to walk it. Why is this so strong? This Scorpio moon is, I'm hearing, I'm hearing, let's clean it up. Like that. I didn't want to shout because I have roommates and I have upstairs neighbors, but I'm hearing, let's clean it up. Like, that's enough. Get rid of what doesn't work. Get rid of old ways of thinking. Get rid of self-limiting thoughts. Remove obstacles from the path that you know you're supposed to be on. Like, collective, please don't play. Don't play with me. I can feel it. You all know exactly what you're supposed to be doing, where you want to be, what you have outlined for your life. And there's something, whether it's self-limiting thoughts, your own self-esteem, and you're worried, or there's something, someone, some job, some, unsupportive family member, distracting friends, whatever it is, there's something that's stopping you from pursuing your real happiness, your true happiness, and your full abundance. You know it. I can feel it. Okay, so let's move into the reading proper. I'm going to use these same cards, and I'm going to pull 4 cards off the top as kind of like the oracles that start off this reading. That is too many. We'll take this one, and I'll put these that were facing down back into the pile, and we'll keep going. We'll turn it over in a second. Okay, so we've got the 4. And put those over here. Make them straight in just a second. Okay, first one we have Hand of Cards again. Again, taking a chance, being strategic, and options. Like I said, collective, you already know what you're supposed to be doing, or you've already felt the call, or you're having that moment of realization tonight, if you haven't already had it. Like, for some reason, okay, don't laugh, but the opening of that show, The Simpsons, where it says The Simpsons, and then like the clouds part and it says The Simpsons. It's like that. I mean, not as funny and lighthearted, but the idea that the clouds are moving away and it's becoming very clear in bold letters across your quote television screen what you're supposed to be doing. If you can also think about it as like a stage show where like the curtains are parted and then you see the scene laid before you. You didn't know what was behind the curtain until someone removed the Simpson clouds or parted the curtain so you could see the scene behind it. You didn't know until you took a chance. It feels that for some of you, it may be actually truly a revelation that you didn't think about before, or you didn't see before. It hadn't occurred to you before. But more specifically, this revelation, yes, the Simpson like parting of the clouds or the drawing back of a stage curtain. Yes, that's true. But it's not necessarily the clarification of the truth because you already know. It's more... I just heard the dawning of a new day. It's more that you already knew. You knew that you had to move forward. You know that you have to move forward. But that moment of realization, you may or may not know who Mabim Bam is. It's the McAvoy brothers. And there's a skit where the brothers are I don't want to ruin it, but there's this skit where the brothers are getting ready to endeavor upon something. And one of them is all, wait a minute, actually, fuck this, and walks away. It's kind of like that. It's literally the parting of clouds, and you see what's written in plain text. The curtains have been drawn back, and you're looking at it. It's like you're looking at what was holding you back. You're looking at the roadblock, and you're like, wait a minute, actually, fuck all of this. And you get up and walk away. It's like that. There is something about this Scorpio like full moon that is like I said, I heard clean it up like that. Let's get rid of all the shit that doesn't work. But it does take a chance. You have to take that chance. You have to be willing to walk away, because you can't put your one hand in two cookie jars. You have to take one out of one cookie jar and put it into the next one to grab whatever you want. I know these are all kind of loose theories or loose analogies, but this is what's coming through. But let's continue forward. Abundance. Yeah, because you can't reach and take abundance if you're holding on to something from the past. You're holding on to a karmic block. You're holding on to an old relationship. You're holding on to an old version of you. It's kind of like, I've said this to people who I've done other readings for in real life, where I'm saying it's like you're holding a $20 bill. If you hold on to that $20 bill and you're holding on to it tight, you're never going to lose that $20 bill. Yeah, that's true. And if you open your hand, you may lose that $20 bill. But by opening your hand, yes, there's a chance that the $20 bill you lose, but you're also allowing for the flow of more to come in. If you're holding on to something so tightly because you're unsure about what would happen in the future, you will always kind of be frozen in time right here. But if you loosen your grip and you allow that 20 to fall away to make more room for abundance, well, yeah, you lost this $20, but then you made room for more. Maybe you won't even lose that $20. Maybe it'll just keep stacking up. The point is, you have to be open to receive. If you're clutching tightly to a karmic connection, old ways of thinking, negative self-talk, and you're holding yourself frozen in that time, and you're not allowing yourself to relax, to grow, to experience new things, to let things go that aren't meant for you, to let more things come in that are meant for you, abundance, it is a risk. But again, most successful people had to take risks, and maybe didn't succeed on the first or second time. But let me ask you this, collective. Wherever you are right now, that it feels you know where your block is. Is this the first time you've encountered this block? Is this another iteration of the same kind of block that you're running into? My feeling, my gut and intuitive feeling is no, this isn't the first time you've encountered this block, and yet it feels like part of the collective is holding on to it. Even though you all know you need to let it go. Negative self-talk, bad relationships with family, toxic co-workers, toxic friends, problematic and disempowering relationships, whatever it is. This isn't the first time you've encountered this. I'm hearing it's a cycle, and that's why the Scorpio full moon is like, clean it up. Let's dig it out. Let's get rid of it. Let's move forward. I need to know why you're holding all of this up. What's the big secret? You want to heal? Let's move forward. That's what I'm hearing. This is how strong. There is a very intense energy, because I'm seeing the McAvoy brothers, the Mabim Bam folks. You know what? Actually, fuck this. And then walking away, being like, I am done. I'm done putting energy towards this thing that is not helping me grow and is actively holding me back or stunting my growth. Coffee cup, meeting, conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted in friendship. You may be able, part of this abundance that you are working towards or you can see on the horizon may have a lot to do with reconnecting and or making connections. But it seems like, okay, if it's business, it's making connections, it's networking, right? Meeting the right people. not allowing an old job or a possessive partner or a unsupportive family to stop you or naysay you from doing this. Putting that aside, going out and making the connections with who you need to, networking, meeting people, finding like-minded people, having these conversations. I'm seeing like a coffee shop with like papers all over it and a group of people talking and collaborating. So if it's business for all of you all, this is about coming together and making connections. However, if it's for those of you that this is about romance, this is about, I just heard starting over again. This may be actually starting over again, breaking away from a past relationship and moving forward towards something that you know could possibly bring you happiness. Starting from square one, going out on dates, maybe making a dating profile, maybe dating yourself for a little bit, falling in love with yourself again, treating yourself, finding comfort and enjoying staying in your own energy, not being lonely, but just enjoying solitary time with yourself. And then connecting with someone, or connecting with someone specific that you know would bring you happiness. But I digress. Let's keep going. And here we have stabbed in the back again. I do feel like there's a fear here because stabbed in the back is about heartbreak and pain. And right after I said about like collaborating with people, coffee shops with papers and cups, there's also deception here. So there's a part of, I understand, there's a part of wanting that change, wanting to take the chance, wanting to move towards your abundance in love or business or just life, and wanting to make those connections or go on dates or to reconnect with that person. But there is fear. Collective, there is fear about feeling that pain, feeling like you've been duped, like you've had the wool pulled over your eyes, and I'm once again in the same karmic relationship that I am. There's fear about you not being able to break that cycle. I don't think that's true though. Yes, I do. Okay, first of all, I'm not trying to naysay your feelings. I can understand that that's a very real concern, but I don't think that would happen is what I'm saying. I feel like whatever energy is stirring up in you right now, that's all like, let's get this cleaned up. Let's clean it up. You know? Bam, bam. You know what? Actually, fuck this. Like you're tired of whatever's happening. You're tired of feeling down. You're tired of feeling like your efforts aren't being noticed. You're tired of having to explain yourself to people. You're just tired. And when you're not tired, you're like, what was it? One of the psychs. I'm just sick. I'm sick of your shit. And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I'm sick and I'm tired. This is this is what it is. You're sick and tired of some old cycle. But there is fear that if you break away from it, if you try to start over again, you're worried about having that happen again. And like, let me be clear. It's not just other people doing this to you. You're worried about other people doing this to you. You're also worried about falling back into old habits. But let's get the story going. Let's see. Okay, you can see it, right? It's going to let it fall. Nine of Swords. I just said that you're worried about old things happening again, whether it be someone taking advantage of you or someone treating you badly or you speaking badly about yourself when you're trying so hard to be better about being kind to yourself internally. This is that reflection. And let me just say, this card sticking out at the bottom, this is a fear. This is, when it's still in the deck like this is an internal fear. And this was hovering like this. It was like this, and so I let it fall. When I let it fall, we had this. So these two cards here, this is a very, very real fear. This is about heartache and pain, heartbreak and pain. This is about circle thinking, wondering if you can actually do it, wondering if you're able to do it. Now, this is internal. This is staying on the deck because this is what you're thinking inside, but this is what I see is currently happening for some of you. It feels like you're staying up, thinking about, not even staying up. Yes, this is staying up late at night, thinking about this, but this is, I'm hearing all-consuming thoughts. You want to move forward. You want to change so badly, but you're afraid of it not working out. You're afraid the person won't support you or love you or see you for who you really are. And also, maybe even more importantly, you're worried that you won't be able to grow past what you need to do. Like you're afraid that you will fall back into old habits. This is something that is all consuming in thought. Why is the Scorpio energy being like, no, that's not going to happen? Let's keep going. So then we have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, okay, so that Scorpio energy was like, no, that's not going to happen. Because the collective, y'all are taking action. You may be feeling like this internally. You may be thinking about that. You may even have like fractured sleep. You may be dreaming about it. All-consuming thoughts. You're thinking about it during the day. How are you going to leave a situation? How are you going to heal? The journey ahead towards healing being so hard, so difficult. But there's also action being taken. So with these things together, this makes me feel like you all are already actively moving forward. You are moving forward. Okay. You know what bravery is? It's not that you don't have any fear. It's having fear, but persevering because it needs to be done. Moving forward in the face of fear. Having the courage to move forward even if you are afraid or uncertain. This is telling me right here that even though internally you are feeling, what if this doesn't work out? What if I'm not healed enough? What if I can't find somebody after this? What if I can't find the right job? What if when I leave this relationship, I can't find someone else? What if the person I want to date is not available? What if my family doesn't understand? What if I lose all of my friends? What if I end up alone? There's a lot of that. There's a lot of this. Am I able to do this? Can I do this? But then on the outside, I'm sorry to be sweary so much, but I'm hearing like you all are kicking yourself in your own ass to be like, no. Like, this is my internal thoughts, and this exact pattern is what I'm trying to change through action. You are actively trying to change this. These two things can be true at once. Having the internal battle with self while also taking action to actively change this, because you know that if you take action, you are taking a chance on yourself for happiness, for your abundance, to build connections. And that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Healing yourself, taking action to heal yourself, doesn't mean that you become infallible. Healing doesn't mean that you will never feel this way again. Healing means that you get better at dealing with the obstacles. It's kind of like that video game Monster Hunter. If you've ever played it, it's like a Souls game. And if you're not a video game player, just hear me out and maybe it'll make sense. When you're playing a Souls game or Monster Hunter, you start off as a character, and slowly over time, you go out, you fight the baddies, and you come back. The game doesn't get easier. You get better. There's no difficulty slider. You don't start at easy, beginner, and then get to hard. The mobs or the bad guys or the monsters that you're defeating in this game have the same power level, have the same effect, the same attack and all that kind of stuff. But you as the player, through going through these things over and over again, get better every time. You learn to craft different weapons. You learn how to put on different armor. You know how to defend yourself. You know how to use your resources. You know how to look for those resources. Those resources, that armor, that weapon, those resources are skill sets that you learn when you're healing. You know how to utilize these healing skills, these healing capabilities when you're going to get up against, world bosses or world events or life events. Life doesn't get easier. You just get better at handling it. Does that make sense? You can be having these internal struggles while still taking action. You are undaunted by, even though there are times that you doubt yourself, but that doesn't stop you from taking action because of the fact that Scorpio moon is cleaning it up. We're digging deep. We're getting rid of what we don't need. Looking at how I used to be and being like, you know what? Actually, fuck this. I'm done with that version of me. I'm going to take the chance to move towards my abundance, to make connections with people, or that person that I love, or the life that I should have walked that path, but I was scared at the time. Sure, I'm going to worry. But the thing is, during healing, again, life doesn't get easier. You get better at handling it. You get better at utilizing. You get better at believing in yourself and handling hard situations. Sorry, I don't know why Monster Hunter came up so strong just then. Okay, what else does Spirit want to say about this journey? So Page of Swords. This is about communication from afar. This is about doing research. This is about remote viewing. I mean, I really am strongly guided to recommend to those who feel like this is resonating to watch the video from last week. Remember who you are. There is strength running through your veins. This is, you want to call it, a call to action. Your ancestors, your guides, your gods, your higher self, something is communicating to you that's not immediately in front of you. It's like a call, I guess you could say call of destiny. You know what you're supposed to do. That doesn't mean that you're not going to doubt yourself occasionally. That doesn't mean that it's easy. But it's the call to change. And you're willing to do it. You're willing to take action. I see it right here. I hear it in my head. I just heard you've reached a breaking point. You are absolutely 100% done with a situation. We have Queen of Wands. This is the great manifester. I consider the Queen of Wands like the magician of the minor arcana. You can call her the manifester. You can call her the witch, the sorceress, whatever. She has the power to shape her reality. She has the power and the confidence to shape how her life will go. In my tarot intro, I talk about how you co-create your own life with the universe, with your guides, your ancestors, your higher self. The cosmos, the universe, basically hand you opportunities. And when I say hand you, I mean they present you with the opportunities to walk a certain path, to advocate for yourself, to do a thing, to say a thing, to act a certain way. But you have to decide where you want to walk, where you want to go. The universe hands you a stack of paper and a pen saying, what do you want to write? How do you want to write this story? This Queen of Wands knows exactly what she wants. Gender doesn't matter. That's the energy. This queen knows exactly what she wants, and she knows she can call in that change because maybe she's working with ancestors. Maybe she's working with their higher self. All I know is this person is singular-minded about taking action, taking the chance to move towards the abundance, to make those connections, whether in business or in love with a specific person. Again, that doesn't mean life gets easier. You might fumble, but you always get back up to take the action because you're being guided and you believe in yourself. Life doesn't get easier. You just get better. You absolutely are getting better. You keep on this path. You keep on this path. 9 of Pentacles is abundance. It's coming in. If you stick to this path, this feeling, this full moon in Scorpio, this feeling of digging deep, debriding all the nasty shit out of your life, like a wound, getting rid of the infection, starting afresh, knowing what you're supposed to do, moving towards your happiness. You are working every day, every little bit towards your abundance. And I'm going to say, you already know this. Collective, for those who are watching this, you know what you're about. You know what you are deserved. You know where your happiness is. You know where the opportunity is. You know where a happy marriage, a happy relationship is. make no mistake, this is not for someone who's kind of waffling, who's like, I actually don't know what will happen if I do XYZ. No, this is for the collective that knows exactly what they want out of their job. They have a game plan. They know exactly where they want to be with the relationship, with the person. They know exactly how they want to feel because they know their emotions. They just need to disconnect from a past old version of them, because there's something about the Scorpio new moon that is about revelations, that's about new beginnings, that's about really, really, really making huge change. And it starts emotionally inwards, and it kind of spills on and it carries on your external world. There's abundance just waiting. You just have to plant those seeds. Planting the seeds for your own abundance. Planting the seeds of your own abundance is essentially setting yourself up for success. You ever heard that saying? Setting yourself up for success means putting yourself in a position in life, in love, in career, with family, setting yourself up for success, surrounding yourself with people who believe in you, that have like a similar view on life, who can see what your life goals are, your relationship goals are, your career goals are, supports them, or at least understands that these mean a lot to you and don't dissuade you from it. But you have to be, again, Seven of Pentacles is about planting the seeds or setting yourself up for success and taking the chance that what you sow, you will reap. What you put in, you get out. If you put in belief in self and self-love, what you get back is belief in you and love. Because the person you call in, the situation that you call in, the life that you call in, the job that you call in is a reflection of what you put out. We have the Lovers. If this isn't about love, the Lovers is about making connections. This can be about business connections. People who will just see eye to eye and understand the vision, understand where you want to go, what you want to build, the product you want to bring to life. But if this is about love, the Lovers is, I'm surprised that, we didn't get like the Four of Wands, but the Lovers is like soulmate energy. So if what you were in were a bad relationship, or a relationship that's disempowering, or you feel stunted, or like you're not growing, or you're frozen in time, it's time to, you know what? Actually, fuck this. And moving away from it. Because maybe being in that relationship, you didn't realize that at the time, but it's making you like depreciate yourself. Is that the right word? Depreciate? Self-deprecate. That's what I mean to say. Self-deprecate. Oh, depreciate is because of the analogy where I saw a car sitting in the lot, and as soon as you got into the relationship or situation or the job, when you drove off the lot, your value started depreciating in real time. And that's not true. That's not how any relationship should be. When you are with somebody, they should uplift you and you uplift them. They see your worth. They put in support. They're there for you to be a source of strength and vulnerability and compassion and love, and you to them doing the same. This abundance is going to lead to the love that you want for yourself, in your job, or the person you're ultimately supposed to be with. Because wherever you are right now, again, whatever situation you are in right now, it is starting to come to light that you are done. You are absolutely done. You want something new. Okay. I'm sorry, I felt like that reading was a little bit aggressive, but the power behind the Scorpio moon is just that intense. Let me get some cards from, I think it's called The Universe Has Got Your Back. So I'm going to see what we have here for that. Okay. I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. You do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. You do whatever it takes to get yourself in balance. You do whatever it takes to navigate your path to your own destiny, to what's in alignment to you, what makes you happy. You do whatever it takes to get yourself in balance, to find love within yourself, to find the strength within self, to actively go towards what your heart and soul desires. And I'm not talking about what your ego mind, and I'm not talking about arrogance. I'm talking about what society says you should want, need, or desire. What society says you should do as a fully functional adult. What does your heart and your soul say? Do whatever it takes to come into alignment with self, to understand self, and understand what it is that is in alignment for you. What is your end goal? What is that your heart and soul call for? And move towards that. Because this Scorpio full moon is revelation. It's about transformation. It's the death and rebirth of one cycle of life and moving into the next cycle of life, or moving from one chapter to another, one phase to another. Time to close out something and move passionately, intensely, with the laser focus of Scorpio towards what you want. Don't let anyone dissuade you or try to talk you out of what makes your heart happy. And that healing during the whole process, again, Monster Hunter rules. The world and life doesn't get easier. You just get better. Every day you get better. That's how it works. And that is the reading. My goodness, that felt very strong. I'm sure a lot of you have been feeling this energy of the Scorpio full moon. I'm right there with you, because obviously this is how it turned out. And I hope it is productive. I hope it brings clarity. I hope it brings the new chapter in your life that will bring love and success and abundance and alignment and everything that will make your heart and soul sing. This is Rabbit at Moon Tarot. My name is Angel, and I will see you at the next reading.